Hey Froggy friends, Kirostyle here. We're back to Danganronpers. Thank you so much for joining me here on stream. Welcome in, everyone. Aru, congratulations on being first. And Leon, welcome in. Key Energy, hello, hello. Girl07, welcome in. Sai, thanks for stopping by. CB, hello, hello. Sky, welcome in. Blaze, thanks for stopping by the stream. Hope you guys are all doing well today. We are continuing our playthrough on Chapter 2 right now. We just discovered the corpse, so now we have shifted into the deadly life section of the chapter. So, it's time to do some investigating. Thanks for calling Kirby. I tried to suppress my screaming, but it was useless. It surged out of me like water from a spring gushing out of the ground. Byakuya, on the other hand.
Very strange.
Most unusual, don't you think? He was totally calm, almost like he was watching this all unfold in front of a TV screen.
I see.
Look, Chihiro's corpse has been suspended somehow. And something's been written on the wall in blood. Bloodlust. Such a brutal way to kill someone. No, this is beyond brutal. Wouldn't you agree? They killed her. How could it not be brutal? That's not my point. This murder is far too bizarre for any everyday amateur to have committed it. Unlike with Sayaka, this murder was not a crime of passion or necessity. It's almost as if whoever did this did it for fun. You see what I mean, don't you? What? My head was swimming. I was still reeling, too confused to understand what he was trying to say. And before I could even begin to clear my head...
What the heck?
Hey, I heard screaming! Did something... Chihiro!
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
What the hell was that?
What?
Oh, that's right. You were unconscious during Sayaka, so you don't know about it. What you heard was the body discovery announcement. Apparently, when 3 or more people discover a body, an announcement plays to let everyone know. I imagine it's so the search for the culprit can proceed fairly for everyone involved. Proceed fairly? The body discovery announcement? Then Chihiro really is...
Naturally.
Dead, yes. Before you start screaming your head off, go round everyone up. It seems another game has begun. Another life or death game to uncover a killer. Taka bolted out of the locker room. As everyone made their way to the scene, it felt as if no time had passed at all. It was like my sense of time had just taken wing and flown away. When I finally came back to myself, I saw everyone had the same look of confusion, fear, and anger. We all just stood there, gathered around Chihiro's body.
Damn.
Damn, I couldn't keep her safe! So there's another victim! Which means we are now in the same position once again. Fuck, man! What the fuck is this?
What?
It's a dream! This is a dream! It's all just a dream! In fact, I haven't even been born yet! I don't have any memory of being alive! Shut up. Wait, I can't reach Kyoko. Oh, she's not selectable, that's why I can't reach her. Oh, I can't talk to anyone, okay. Hi, Hunter. Welcome in. A surveillance camera. The mastermind must have been watching as Chihiro was killed. They know what's happened, and they're still forcing us to go through with this. The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood.
So...
I don't think it's any kind of dying message. It's just too strange. But you know, that thing about writing bloodlust in blood, doesn't it feel kind of familiar? A murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. At the scene of each crime, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. What nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer? What? Genocide Jack! Genocide Jack. The murderous fiend whose grisly attacks are famous all across the country. The ultimate murderous fiend, creating a reputation of abnormal, downright cruel killings.
What is this?
Then this is some copycat killer trying to imitate Genocide Jack's style? But why would anyone do that? Perhaps it's the work of the real Genocide Jack. What? The real? Wait, are you saying Genocide Jack is here in the school?
No way!
There's no way. But going so far as to write bloodlust at the scene, I'm surprised at their stupidity.
Well,
I can't imagine a worse situation than dealing with a stupid murderer. What is it now? Toko. Kino was pointing toward the entrance to the girls' locker room. Toko was the last to arrive, and now she was just standing there. Also, where was everyone else? There was only a handful of us looking for the body. Where was everyone else? No, why? 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 She fainted! That did not sound good. Toko? Hina rushed over to the collapsed Toko and started trying to shake her awake. Toko, are you okay? Come on, wake up. Oh, that's right. I just remembered what she said about how she faints anytime she sees blood.
Oh.
So she is hemophobic. I imagine she does not watch too many horror films then. This isn't a violation of the rules, right? I mean, technically she passed out somewhere besides her room. No, I think she'd be okay. The regulations prohibit sleeping, like, on purpose. And I got knocked out twice, and not in my room, so... so since she didn't faint on purpose, it doesn't count? Gotcha!
Just a second!
Toko, can you hear me? Hey, you gotta wake up! As if she'd heard her, Toko suddenly shot awake. As in, she literally jumped up from where she was laying. It was such a strange reaction, I was at a total loss for words. She leapt straight up into the air, changing her stance as she did. In no time flat, she was just standing up. Ignoring the physical contortions she had to go through, her motions were totally haphazard. Huh? What? Sorry about that. I was just so shocked, you know, it happens, right? Was I the only one? Toko, are you okay? I'm fine. Well, is that a body? Are you dead?
what the heck?
She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies.
Well...
This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different. Oh no, everything's fine. At least the stutter's all gone. That's a good thing, right?
I see.
It's clear to me that everything is not fine. Your eyes seem strangely vacant. It may be best if we take her back to her room for the time being.
So,
I don't mind taking her, but could someone help me? If you need help, I don't mind. Taka, could you help me? She totally ignored me. Very well, you take care of the girl and the rest of us can begin the investigation right away. Can I assume nobody has a problem leaving Sakura and Mondo on guard duty again? Hold on a second, rushing to an investigation? The mastermind isn't behind that. After what happened last time, surely you realize that. Ugh.
Don't make me repeat myself.
There's no question that Chihiro was murdered by someone among us. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Of course!
Right as rain! But don't take it as a bad thing, it's just a fact of life. Because that's how graduation works. Then it's happened again. Is that what you're saying? That another one of us killed a fellow classmate. What? Does that freak you out? You guys got no balls, you know that? Is there nothing? Is there just nothing down there at all? Well, I'll let you pray to mine if you want. Actually, I don't have any either. Sorry.
Stop talking.
Stop monologuing and give us what you came here to give us. You did bring it, right? I sure did, Chum.
It's the Monokuma file!
Allow me to present the next Monokuma file. I know how much you must be looking forward to it.
See ya later!
So please do your very tippy-top best on this investigation.
No way!
Do we really gotta do another investigation? Examining the corpse of one of our friends. Having to suspect all our other friends.
Why?
I hate this. I can't take it anymore.
Oh, no!
I hate it too.
Help me!
I've had enough. I'm getting out of here.
Hey!
Where do you plan on going? There's nowhere to run.
Such ignorance.
Just accept it already. After all, blood is just a liquid. A dead body is a simple object. You are very enthusiastic about all this, aren't you not?
Naturally.
How could I not be? If we don't unmask the culprit, we all die. That's true, but to jump to it so soon.
What?
What? Do you want to die?
Such ignorance.
Fine, then go off and die somewhere. Right now, go ahead. You're a waste of space.
Damn you!
Dead body's an object?
Piece of shit!
Jahiro wasn't an object. Show a little respect or I'll beat some into you.
Calm down.
Everyone, stop bickering. Listen, there's some truth in what Byakuya said. Hyoko,
Because...
if we don't solve the mystery and find the killer, our lives are forfeit. And if Byakuya is right, that Genocide Jack is somehow the one who killed Chihiro,
That's right.
then unless we do something, more victims could start piling up. What? We're getting more victims. When we mess this up, we're all dead meat.
Hey! Hey!
Hold on. If that's your worry, you don't gotta worry any longer. In any one killing game, the guilty party may only kill a maximum of 2 people. What? I don't even have a rule like that.
Actually...
I just came up with it. I mean, if one person went around and killed everyone, your lovely student life would all be over, right? A new rule has been added to the regulations menu.
So then...
In that case, why not limit it to 1 person?
Hey!
Well, in a good mystery, you don't want to miss out on at least the potential of a serial killer angle. Just 1 would totally murder that possibility.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Farewell for now. I'll catch you guys at the class trial. I can't say I understand his thinking, but if we can kill up to 2 people, then 1 more person's life could still be in danger.
Interesting.
Which is definitely not good. We need to uncover the culprit before something else happens again.
You son of a bitch!
You need to shut the fuck up.
So,
Well, for now, Taka and me are gonna drop Toko off at her room. Nice, I'm gonna get dropped off.
there is nothing to be done.
We have no time to stand around here. We must begin our investigation Tutsuit. If we do not solve the mystery of who killed Chihiro,
Is that okay?
then we will quickly follow her into the afterlife. That's true. I hate this, but if I want to survive, me and everyone else, we have to do it. We don't have any other choice. First of all, I better check the Monokuma file to see exactly what's going on. The victim was Chihiro Fujisaki. The time of death is estimated to be around 2 a.m. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the 2nd floor of the school. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. That's all it says. Well, it's not like there's any point in complaining about it. No matter what, I gotta do what I gotta do. Hey, Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? Do you need something from me?
Naturally.
Of course. Life without purpose is quite dull, you know. So what do you need? I'm going to let you cooperate with me during my investigation. Huh?
What?
I'm purchasing your talent. The same talent which allowed you to solve Sayaka's case. Solve? No, I just...
Stop talking.
You seem to have some limited use, which is why I've chosen you. You have the honor of contributing to my investigation. So you're inviting me to come with you? You're doing it in the most arrogant way possible, though.
Let's go.
Now then, shall we get started? But we need to get moving. There's no time to be standing around. I don't really know what just happened, but it looks like I'll be working with Byakuya on this one. Hey, Angora. Hey, Ditsunal. Welcome in. So, one thing I forgot to mention in the last chapter that I kind of want to point out here. So, you know, again, I like Ace Attorney, so this is not like a blow against Ace Attorney, but Danganronpa definitely has another advantage over Ace Attorney besides the ones I've already mentioned. Like, for example, the fact that we get to know the victim and the culprit along the way. But I think the other thing with Danganronpa that I think does better than Ace Attorney, because Ace Attorney, a lot of people who don't really know Ace Attorney think of it as like a lawyer simulator, right? But the fact of the matter is, it's not really a lawyer simulator. It's more of just a mystery game, because the way they do the lawyering is all completely inaccurate, right? You get tons of those videos where it's like, actual lawyer reacts to Ace Attorney, and they talk about how inaccurate it is. Yes, because it's not meant to be an accurate court scene, right? Because when they wrote it, actually, the writer actually had no background in law and just wanted to make a good mystery. And by the time he wrote it and had it like checked, and they were all like, oh, like this doesn't make sense from a courtroom standpoint, but you know, let's do it anyways for the drama, right? So a lot of people say it's supposed to be like a critique over the Japanese court system and stuff like that too, which isn't actually true either, and I was under that misapprehension before as well. So it's not a matter of like, oh, differences between Japanese and English courts. It's just, it's not supposed to be an accurate court depiction at all. It's supposed to be a murder mystery with an interesting conclusion. And the trials are the most interesting part of Ace Attorney. That's where all the action happens. So you have to suspend your disbelief. But in Ace Attorney, if you don't know the fandom, right, then it might be difficult for you to suspend your disbelief because you go into it thinking that it's a lawyering game. But it's not a lawyering game, right? It's a mystery game. But in Danganronpa, because our trials are not real trials, right? It's just a bunch of high schoolers arguing presided over an evil teddy bear. We don't have to adhere to those types of rules. So it's easier to suspend our disbelief and be like, oh yeah, this is not a real courtroom, obviously, right? On the same note, because Ace Attorney happens in the real world, most of the time we would ask ourselves like, oh, but what about, you know, autopsy report, forensics, fingerprints, hair? Like there's all sorts of things that you kind of have to overlook. Like they only really bring up autopsies and fingerprints and stuff like when it's relevant. Any other time where it's not relevant, they just kind of brush over it like as if it doesn't exist, right? In the real world, a lot of those cases probably would have been solved a lot faster with forensics or proper forensics. But in Danganronpa, we don't have forensics. We're just a bunch of kids in a high school, and we depend on Monokuma to give us this file that tells us what we need to know. So that makes the mystery more interesting because we understand, oh, we're limited in scope and limited in what we can find. So that's another advantage we have. I think Great Ace Attorney has that same advantage over regular Ace Attorney 2 because it takes place in the past before forensic science was really properly developed. So they can get away with a lot of the cases being difficult to solve because they didn't have things like fingerprints, right, back then either. So I just want to point that out as just kind of something that makes it easier to comprehend in Danganronpa, or easier to suspend our disbelief. She took her time examining Chihiro's corpse. She poked and prodded, going over every inch of the lifeless body. You're a very strange woman, you know, being able to touch a dead body with absolutely no trouble. She seems to be concentrating pretty hard. It's like she can't even hear us. If you have time to talk, you have time to start investigating. I use this locker room all the time. Now it's become the site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else and then carried here. She was very light, that is true. It wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her, but still. I still think she came in here on her own by choice. What makes you say that? She'd been talking a lot lately about how she wanted to get stronger. So you're saying she came here to exercise? But according to the Monokuma file, apparently she was killed around 2 in the morning. Would she really have been exercising that late?
Perhaps.
Hina or myself are usually in the locker room during the day, so she was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. So I can only assume she was trying to avoid us. And instead, she came to exercise in the middle of the night.
However,
Perhaps, but it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needed support from others. So you're saying she could have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret, but that she would also have come with someone else. It's a possibility, I think. dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? Oh, I need to get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. I sure did. Which I guess explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. Haven't really thought about that stuff. The cause of Chihiro's complex. I can't help wondering what it might be. I could feel the life draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. Chihiro's dead body.
Very strange.
But the more I look, the more strange it all seems. This must be Genocide Jack's handiwork. Well, but
What?
But we're still not sure he did it. Is that what you want to say? I wonder about that. The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood. What's the meaning behind it? Bloodlust. There's a dumbbell on the floor, and there's a blood stain. There's a blood stain on the dumbbell. The Monokuma file said a blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her. Does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder weapon?
That's right.
I don't imagine it could have been anything else. Now I believe it's about time for us to move on. Huh? Already?
What?
New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but
Let's go.
if you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed. He's so pushy. I got caught up with the wrong person this time. So this is our next location. Huh? This place is related to the investigation. Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right? If I remember right, this card reader is meant to work with our handbooks, right?
What?
Do you have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Monokuma. He said that, then quickly and sharply clapped his hands together.
Did you call for me?
You called for me? Has he been domesticated?
That's right.
It seems Makoto has a question for you.
You need something?
Sure, what's up? Well, it's just about this card reader.
Yep.
Yeah? The card readers have all been designed to interface with each of your handbooks. You can only enter the locker room corresponding to the gender listed in your individual handbook. And it's impossible for two people in a row to go through while the door is unlocked, correct?
Unbelievable.
If there was some sort of erotic terrorist on the prowl, the ceiling-mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter. And the school regulations prohibit anyone from leading someone else or lending someone else their handbook, correct?
Of course.
Correctly correct. So then, that means only girls can go in the girls' locker room and only boys can go in the boys' locker room. In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means... Hey Makoto, I can see right through you. See right through me. Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
So, in other words,
As such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right?
such ignorance.
Good lord, you're simple. But am I wrong? You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer's been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Togami family. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations. Knowing you, I would bet you created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things. You treat me like a puny little appetizer instead of the main course that I am. Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore. They're things.
Yep.
Get it? Got it? Good. Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it. So,
Why you?
So sleepy. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya and get your poop together.
Unbelievable.
Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence. No more questions. Figure out the rest on your own damn self.
That's fine.
Well, I know you are unfortunately lacking in mental faculties, so I'll fill you in myself. Let's head to the main hall. The main hall? That'll help you understand what's going on. He's just dragging me all around the school. We came to the main hall. So what are we looking for here? Does that mean I have to figure it out for myself? The hunk of metal blocking the entrance seems like some kind of machine. A surveillance camera, and there's what I can only assume is a gun attached to it. It's so chilling. Surveillance camera. There's a mailbox here. Could there be something inside? It's an e-handbook. No, wait, there's 3 of them. But what are they doing here? So you finally found them. Huh? Did you know these were here, Byakuya? I happened to find them by chance myself the other day. It seems there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. So then these 3 handbooks belong to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka. You can go ahead and confirm it for yourself. I immediately turned on one of the handbooks, and when I did... You're right, this is Sayaka's handbook. Now, do you understand? This is the key to the loophole I revealed earlier. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it. You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's handbook is perfectly fine. I see. Yeah, now I understand.
What?
Hold on a second. What's wrong?
Very strange.
That's strange. One of the handbooks won't turn on. Is it broken? Whose is it? The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started it up. Then the one that won't turn on must be Leon's, right?
I see.
It would make sense, yes. After all, he did get pummeled with dozens and dozens of baseballs. Pummeled with baseballs. The memory of it came flooding back. That cruel punishment which led to Leon's death. The execution that the mastermind concocted. A cruel, heartless death. You're right. It wouldn't be surprising for the handbook to break during that kind of assault.
Damn it!
Hey, hey! Hey, 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 hey!
Angry! Now I'm really angry!
What? That e-handbook is essential to student life here. Crucial, integral, instrumental, a super big deal. There's no way it would break that easily. But it did.
That's impossible!
If I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't freaking break. If it can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure, and it's waterproof up to 100 meters, okay? I don't care how many baseballs you hit it with, it won't do crap. But, even my amazing handbook does have one single weak point. It does?
I can't hear you!
But it's a secret. I wouldn't want you go breaking any more handbooks.
What?
Then Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing what his weakness was, right? Hard to say. You know what I think? I think his handbook isn't actually broken.
What?
But you might ask, how could that be? Leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared. What just happened? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's an undeniable fact it's not turning on.
That's fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now. You think so? Either way, something about it still bothers me. Okay then, this should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track down the true culprit. Yeah, we need to find out who killed Chihiro. To be exact, not quite. Huh? Not quite. What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite. Certainly I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely, I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack. Then, you really think... You truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case. That murderous fiend is Genocide Jack,
What?
right? There's nobody else it could be. A murderous fiend who kills again and again, using a bizarre and brutal method. They're like a ghost attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer? Genocide Jack. They say he's killed thousands of people, but that's gotta be an urban legend. Still, could one of us really be a demented, psychotic killer like that? You're not wrong to wonder. But words mean little right now. I have something that'll prove it, and I can show you. Love Puppy, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite. Oh, he's just saying the same thing.
Don't make me repeat myself. What?
Wait, maybe he has more to say when I don't react.
Don't make me repeat my...
And I have a basis to believe that, I assure you. Genocide Jack is one of us. Is there really proof? There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will provide all the evidence that you need.
It's all clear now.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro. Evidence? Does something like that really... hey, you two! Big trouble, need your help.
I don't have time to play
We're
with you.
busy, leave us alone.
I mean...
But it's an emergency, emergency! Come on, please, you gotta help me. Such an annoying girl.
Please!
This is a serious emergency. Please, you gotta help me. Just calm down, okay, Hina?
I mean...
But it's an emergency. An emergency? What happened?
Well...
Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. Well, I mean, she was acting pretty strange earlier, right? What should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit I am intrigued. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. Are you sure?
Don't make me repeat myself.
I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no and that'd be the end of it.
Yeah!
Okay, come on, hurry. Wait for us, Hina.
Let's go.
It looks like she head to the dorms. To Toko's room, most likely. You're right.
Such ignorance.
You're talking to the wrong person, you waste of space. Okay, fine. You guys are too slow. I think you're just too fast. So what's the emergency?
So,
Well, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, you know, to see how she was doing. But when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out and kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff.
That's fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. May as well give it a shot. The door swung open slowly and silently. Holy crap! An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
What? Oh, nothing. It's just that Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But could you open up just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
Won't let Genocide Jack have control.
And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. What was that? She's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago... drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend. It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door. But it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it. Toko was scared enough to even bar her door? Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko's so scared?
But...
Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Hey, Byakuya, do you think you could ask her? To come out of her room, I mean.
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. Huh? You're gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Well, I guess you can be nice when you want to. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments.
What do you want?
Leave me alone. You're all so annoying. Bakula!
It's Byakuya.
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. With that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off. There's nothing else we could do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hold on! Hey, Byakuya, what was Toko talking about just now? Something about a promise.
What?
Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya? And I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking toward his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in front of a certain room. The library. Come on, let's go in. Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
There are no clues there. We need to check elsewhere. There's no point in checking there. We need to find some real clues. Knock it off. What does a desk lamp matter right now? There are no clues there. We need to check elsewhere. There's no point in checking there. The mastermind must have been watching when Chihiro was killed. They know what's happened and they're still forcing us to go through with it. This is one of the monitors Monokuma appears on. I can't think about this right now. Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
I think I checked all these things. If I remember, on the other side of this door, it's the archive, right? Oh, I thought that was the exit this whole time. Hurry up and go inside. I thought this was the exit the whole time. Oh, here?
Let's go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside. Oh, I'm probably missing some Monokuma coins in here. Whoa, there's so many books and files. So much dust, too.
So, in other words,
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. If you pay attention to your surroundings, you're sure to discover the value for yourself. Let's look for coins. There's even a surveillance camera here. So many files stuffed on the shelf. What's in all these things? Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. You mean like members of the Diet or something? No, I mean the ones with real power. The secret council controlling everything from the shadows. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There's some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya use in the library before.
what?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before and I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. There's a wooden box. It's empty. Although, judging by the smudges in the dust, it looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it was. There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful when I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? This shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without thinking about it, I picked one at random. You have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Huh? That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it. Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. There's a ton of thick files stuffed on the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. Those files are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person wouldn't ever want to look at. Be careful. Huh? What do you mean? All those files there are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are the internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. Oh. So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it as a lie. Well, it's not that, it's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put this all together? I suppose it goes to show just how much power Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it. What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like this are usually impossible. What? What do you mean, usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple. Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? What makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I've reviewed them multiple times, so there's no doubt. Hold on a second, you're saying you've read all these documents more than once? But all this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why? My family has a reading room just like this in our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Huh? Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How's that possible?
So, in other words...
I already told you. There's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. And I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. To become such a ruler, I must know all levels of the world backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim without a doubt that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports has always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. And among those reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases has been compiled here. Because there's so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that at every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save your surprise. The best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. Huh? In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So in other words,
The culprit isn't a copycat killer, it's the real Genocide Jack.
in other words,
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Then Genocide Jack really is. Such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking sound among us.
interesting.
Things are starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it'd be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. Byakuya, about that Genocide Jack case file, could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it here, but you can't take it with you. Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hands stopped. I reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. Ken Harada, 32, Tetsuhiro Honda, 17, Shoji Gaku, 23, Kano Issei, 14, Takeshi Yoshida, 30, Komatsuna Taro, Takafumi Gono, Uchida Naohisa, Takashi Masamune, Yuto Yumejima. There was no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodless was written in the victim's own blood. Now take a look at the next page and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page. Profiling results. All the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays, in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because eyewitnesses never come forward, it's unlikely there's any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
So in other words,
The key point here is the culprit may well have a split personality. A split personality, like the kind of thing you see on TV? So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one's way more unbelievable than anything else up until now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Huh? Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We finished our business here, haven't we? Oh, wait, Byakuya! Get a load of this guy. Hey Shu, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Huh? Just all of a sudden like that?
I don't have time to play
Come
with
on,
you.
enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And just like that, he was gone. And just as quickly as he asked me to join him, he cut me off. In the end, I felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I'd uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack. He's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to figure that out no matter what it takes. And to do that, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. And the others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Hey Ash, welcome in. Oh, no one's outside here. Oh, it tells me like is that the percentage of, oh, no, that's zoom in. I thought that was like the percentage of investigation. So, they're here. Well, I guess it doesn't show me everyone's, oh, it doesn't show me everyone's location, per se. But it shows me these guys, okay. Okay, we'll start on the first floor and just sweep our way through.
How unfortunate.
Maybe we should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all. Damn it! I'm so sorry, Chihiro. It's all because I wasn't strong enough.
Huh?
Oh, hey Makoto, what's up? I haven't been up to anything myself, that's for sure. Definitely haven't looked inside the mailbox. Well, that sounded suspicious. There's a mailbox here, and inside are Junko, Leon, and Sayaka's e-handbooks. It looks like the handbooks of any dead students are brought here to the mailbox somehow. The rule says loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only lending it is against the rules. In other words, there's no problem with borrowing one. Also, it looks like Leon's handbook refuses to turn on. But according to Monokuma, it shouldn't be broken. Is it really unrelated to the case? Either way, something about it still bothers me. Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing? Same as before. She won't come out and she just keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimmy and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating?
Huh?
A donut, of course. Of course. There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. Really? I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. Oh, I should have tried to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well...
Yeah, she was a little strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just shy? I don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite sex? Oh wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of person. Celeste was in the warehouse, right? Yeah. Oh, it doesn't show Toko on the map. Even though I know where she is. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It is absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then, did you find something? Very well, I will tell you and only you.
Actually...
Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. What? Really?
Indeed.
It was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assume she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but It would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would have ever happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying, which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow.
Actually,
Last night I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse.
indeed.
Oh, she's gonna do the entire conversation again? I thought she'd just
Are
change
you
her dialogue.
what? Because I...
Oh, well,
That'll teach me to talk to people twice.
Yeah.
Her saying that she deserves it though? Damn, Celeste. I mean, that's very in character for you, but... awful. Hey Luck, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. This is Toko's room. I should probably just leave her alone for now.
Da-da-da-da-da!
Ding ding ding! Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if...
Another stat increase for me. Evidence? What'd you find? I cannot reveal that just yet,
That's it. I'm sure of it.
but I guarantee that what I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Are you sure about that?
Da-da-da-da-da!
I...
The boys' locker room card reader, but the door's unlocked now, so it's kind of pointless. The girls' locker room card reader, but the door's unlocked now, so it's kind of pointless. Hey, Kyoko, have you made any progress on your investigation?
Indeed.
Generally speaking.
However,
But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time. Thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. I guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing. That's definitely worth worrying about.
Damn.
Chihiro's presence here was especially weak. Her body and her soul.
No forgiveness!
To target such a helpless being, it's unforgivable. What a wretched beast to do such a thing. I cannot forgive this. Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? All I need to do is get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here. Does she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't that strong. I don't know, man. Haven't really thought about that stuff. Chihiro's complex. Where'd it come from? It's a bloodstained poster. The blood is the most noteworthy part, but that big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. The way her eyes are covered with the blood makes the eyes look like they're different sizes or at the wrong angle because you can't see the sclera. It looks like an AI-scaled piece of artwork, even though I know it's not. The girls' locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'll find something like this. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Well, I better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? This rope has a plug. Wait, so then this isn't rope at all. The more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was a blow to the head. which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. There's the issue of her being suspended and the fatal blow. At first I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. This door leads out to the pool. Huh? This poster. It's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite fit in the boys' locker room. But wait, that reminds me, the poster in the other locker room is... That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little bit more about the locker rooms. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes he and I use it together. Okay then, let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid any attention to the posters. I see.
However...
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. I don't think you should be mixing protein powder with coffee, but... Anyway, the other day I spilled some of the carpet on the girls' locker room and it left a stain. A stain? But I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
Of course.
Exactly. I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain here to begin with. Oh, it doesn't let me quick travel here. There's a thick layer of dust on top of the desk. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. Guess not. The wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. I want to take another look at Genocide Jack's case file. I know it's around here somewhere. Huh? It's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who'd do something like that. I can't think of anyone but Byakuya. It's a document about the secret council revealing a kind of truth a commoner shouldn't go near. So I guess I'd better not. It's a report on a presidential assassination. It's really intriguing. But if it means I become a target, nope. I'll leave it where it is, thank you very much. The desk lamp. Byakuya grabbed that one thing from over here and put it over there. Sure is dark over there. Huh? The lamp won't turn on. I see, it's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. But last time I saw it, it was definitely on, and was definitely right here. Oh, that's right. Byakuya was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now. I wonder if...
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Begin the class trial, or... It's about to begin. The red door is right through here. Ahem, so is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... You really don't remember.
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible. Woo, so now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murder is one of us. Someone standing right here. You ready? We doing this?
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual. I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro?
Shall we go?
Shall we begin?
How very sad.
Miss Fujisaki. I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe.
Hey, come on.
Fucking Toko, man. What's got her worked up? There's something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. I guess I wasn't much help at all in this one. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. Oops, I didn't mean to click you again. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds, deeper and deeper into the ground. As soon as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, good. You're ripped ready to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. So I got one more skill. Increases the influence gauge by 2, effective during the class trial. Okay, yeah, sure. I think that's the only other skill I got.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Let's talk. Who wants to talk about murders? First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Oh, they're still only giving me one bullet at a time.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
It's like you guys didn't even look at the crime scene. The weapon had to be at the scene of the crime. There was something with a blood stain on it.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Oh no, they want me to hit the iron pipe. You think you have some proof that contradicts what I said? Oops, my bad. I was too eager to shoot.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, it's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the X button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all, in which case you can forget all about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun!
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
The thing Byakuya showed me in the archive, one look at it and anyone would be convinced. It shows that this was the work of Genocide Jack.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong! I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, has to do with the positioning of the body.
I got it!
I like how the question kind of answered
in every
the answer.
Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
It's like, it must be something about the positioning of the body. Answer, positioning of the body.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
He just went straight to the...
What?
I mean, if it wasn't obvious already.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What?
I mean, we're only like 2 non-stop debates in.
Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? What do they want me to spell? I know it's a split personality disorder, but... Oh no, I was gonna say, wait. Wait, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong one. I pressed the wrong one. How do I go back? How do I go back? If you shoot the wrong letters, you'll take damage if your influence rate... I can speed it up. I think I pressed the wrong one. Oh. Oh, they want me to spell this? Really? I don't think this is the right word to be using. From like a...
Now I understand!
Like a medical standpoint.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
You could just maybe write split or something.
Huh?
This will be too short.
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Plus the fact that they shorten it, I know they shorten the word to make it easier to like shoot, but obviously that is, you know, kind of a not very nice way of putting it.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
I just feel the need to point that out. At least they don't say the word out loud in their dialogue, I guess.
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
Also, I just love how a lot of like crime shows, mysteries, and stuff like that too love to use split personalities. And the way they use it is such a like fantastical, fictionalized version of what it actually is. But we'll just ignore that for now. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. Oh, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning, I mean. She sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
Hey, Rainbelt, welcome in.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her, of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried! I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you!
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
What the heck?
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
So in the Japanese version, they use the name Genocide Sho.
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality! So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
Intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body!
So, you know, Toko, when we first met her, right? You know, she had a pretty bad attitude, pretty poor first impression. But after this case, Toko became a huge fan favorite character. And you can see maybe why. Hey Alice, welcome in. Yeah, she got a fruit roll up for a tongue.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
The way her face is here is so adorable somehow.
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
What would an evil version of Kiro be like? You know how like in a lot of fighting games, there's like the main character of the fighting game, and then they always have like an evil alter ego. Like, you know, there's like Ryu, an evil Ryu, for example. That'd be kind of cool.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about genocide death. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined.
Evil Kiro, I actually don't like frogs. Gasp!
So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Ooh, Evil Kiro leans into the poison part of the poison dart frog aspect. That's an interesting idea.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
If we have Evil Kiro, then we need Evil Kirby? Uh-oh. We're all doomed.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Maybe she's totally right about that, but there's something still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all this.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
What if Evil Kirby's actually a toad instead of a frog? We talked about this before, but toads and frogs actually aren't, like, completely separate things. People think that toads and frogs are completely different, but they're actually not. Some frogs are referred to as toads, and some toads are referred to as frogs. And scientifically, the barrier is actually not as clear-cut as you think. Okay, I have to just focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have the answer. That should prove that what he said isn't quite right.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it's wrong! Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Wait, why do all of you want to see Evil Kiro?
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How is it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
Hey Kieran, welcome to the stream. The face portrait's vibrating strongly on the side when talking takes you out. It's so funny, right?
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using Ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Wait, she called out Ragu and Chef Boyardee by name.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
So wait, does that mean she like smelts her own scissors? Like she melts down her own metal and forges her own scissors?
And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac?
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... Oh, I think you figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada, 32, Tetsuhiro Honda, 17, Shoji Gaku, 23, Kano Issei, 14, Takashi Yoshida, 30, Komatsu Nataro, Takafumi Gono, Yuchida Naohia, Takashi Masamue, Yuto Yumajima, and there was no end to it.
They were all... guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian Korean chefs suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
Yeah, put him in his place.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime!
So, I mean, if Toko wanted to get rid of Genocide Jack, she could just dispose of all her scissors. But she didn't do that.
Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong, you can you gutter dogs, all of you!
You guys really like Genocide Jack now. Or Jill.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. The rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. I like how she's just here.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it! The adorable glasses man was behind it all? Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Actually, you're a perv!
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, What's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the triangle button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case though, I'll say if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, so I got a hold triangle on it. Look at Jill making that face.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Hearing Byakuya's comment about Chihiro being a girl, I realized there's a clear contradiction there, because it doesn't make sense how he could have known even before he found it. Okay, I need to make that contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Oh. I thought they were trying to... oh, whatever. Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. It makes me think something weird's going on.
So, you
now I need to absorb it again.
Kind of weird before we found, but he was acting.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
that's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro, so of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distraction.
What's so strange? I wish you'd taken me with you.
Oh, do I need to shoot it at its own? Do I need to shoot it at its own comment? Okay, because there's only 2 comments.
You said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body, but he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented.
Oh wait, no, I need to take Asahina's statement and shoot it to the other one. I'm doing the reverse.
That's a natural.
The victim. What? So of course I would.
I need to do the reverse.
What's so strange?
I jumped the gun. Huh? Get it?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
that's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, what's wrong?
I went in with the misapprehension. I need to turn his own words against him, but I need to
what's so strange about that.
Highlight his own words with Asahina's. I'll tell you what's so strange about that.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Just admit that you're a pervert.
Huh? What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it.
Yeah, Kyoko, you've been awfully quiet.
We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden there. What could it be? Come on, give me more than one bullet. I know it's still kind of tutorial time, but...
difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
The proof that Byakuya did it is hidden within the rope. I guess it's possible for first, the item she'd been bound with was used like a rope, but was it actually a rope? No, it wasn't. Byakuya didn't use rope, he used a very specific object.
What? The difference between the... You want me to explain when I want to kill, and I use those same...
But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right! Then there must be something...
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you...
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Oh, I almost hit the purple text.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Again, it's like none of you looked at the body.
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. And he's not even involved, as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's something definitely off of what he said.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who had been so confident up until now. Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker rooms.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
The fact that he had to voice out the word big boobed.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. Do I have the picture of the stain where there? Oh, here it is.
I got it!
The order of the clues is kind of odd.
The girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away.
It's not in the same order that I picked it up. It's gotten switched.
In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning that why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? I mean, he was in the main hall where the mailbox was, but I don't think he's that smart, but...
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Actually, like, not a bad argument for Yasuhiro considering that he's not really paying attention to what's going on. Theoretically, if Chihiro were able to use Leon's handbook, she could get into the boys' locker room. But when we found Leon's handbook in the main hall, there's no doubt that it was. In which case, can we really say that she used it?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
Also, not an awful argument from Ishimaru here.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for
considering
her.
he didn't talk to Monokuma.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong!
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
He just accepted it so quickly.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
She played him like a fiddle.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So, before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
Okay, good. It's still voice acted.
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands? No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura taking one for the team.
Sakura?
Sakura's amazing. Same with Kyoko.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Jill, you could be quiet for a little bit.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact. What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Kiro was a guy? Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, we're really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Jill, now's not the time.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
So we don't get to see them walking back, but could you imagine the conversations?
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
Sheena and Conrad, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by today.
We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
Also, I would have liked to see Byakuya's reaction during that whole scene, but he didn't say anything. To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So again, remember this game was written in 2010, right? Just a reminder.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever.
We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
The way he censored himself is kind of funny.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead, find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Yeah, now you guys have my back. I didn't see the support last chapter.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means...
I got it!
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have to use their own. In other words, it would have to be a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! and only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man! Game over!
Yeah! No! Not game over!
I love how half of that conversation was just useless text. Celeste, are you not gonna say anything? I mean, do you want me to speak on your behalf? No, as a matter of fact, there is an eyewitness account regarding Chihiro. She has more information about that.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to... Well,
Did nobody get... I'm sure if someone saw the kill...
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some...
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Oh. I guess they wanted on Sakura's statement. Technically, that is new info, though, so that should work on that statement, too. It's like an Ace Attorney when you know what...
clue that might lead us to...
Oh, I missed! It's like an Ace Attorney when you know what you want to say, but you need to figure out, like... They don't like the statement that you put it on because there's a better statement.
And it's not like they're just game over, man.
No! Not game over!
Isn't there
a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Oh, you don't want that one either?
Shoot! Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing. Did nobody get a look at... I'm sure if someone saw the killer...
Perhaps someone saw the
victim at some point. Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer.
I guess technically this contradicts him, because it wasn't the killer that saw... It was Celeste.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
I keep forgetting because in the second game, there's a mechanic where you can shoot evidence to agree with someone, and I keep thinking that I can do that here, but I need to remember it has to contradict it.
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
You forgot about that, Celeste?
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
I like how quick they were to change their use of pronouns here. I mean, Chihiro's dead right now, so it's not like they can tell us which one they would have preferred actually, but they were very quick on the uptake, because...
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
She's right. What he said just now is really odd. How do you know something like that?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong! Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
See, like, technically, my statement that I shot, or my bullet that I shot at the statement, didn't contradict it. It actually matched it. Which is why I was confused for that other one where I had to shoot at something that I was trying to shoot at something that matched it to corroborate, because technically my statement kind of corroborates with it, not contradicts it. Technically.
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assume he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue?
Makoto, how do you know it? Well, you know, when Celeste was telling me, there was a CG that appeared on the screen, and I looked at the picture.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Because she didn't say the word blue to Makoto either, technically.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
Hey, Lord, welcome in.
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
A diabolical trap set by Kyoko. But honestly, this trap of hers would have only worked if Celeste kept her mouth shut, and we're lucky that Celeste is the type not to give away extra details. Because if she mentioned that at any time before he said that, then we would be up the creek without a paddle here. So it was a little bit of a chance play. And if she did mention it to Makoto, maybe like through the power of CGs, he could have mentioned it by accident before, like Kyoko didn't have time to corroborate this with anyone, so maybe she just count on everyone else being so tight-lipped or dumb. I mean, obviously they just wrote it like this for the player, but it's just kind of funny to think about.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him. Oh, wait, he's acting? Oh no, the way he talked.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
That's true. He did say dude during the investigation.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Did you notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
And everyone realized Kyoko was a force to be reckoned with.
No, I'm not the frightful one.
I didn't want to point it out at the time because I didn't want to give away this plot point early. So I'm trying to be tight-lipped about it myself.
Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, it kind of sucks when everyone starts blaming you for no reason. It's almost like you guys all did that to me last chapter and never apologized to me about it.
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh no, does he have Shinigami?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Yeah, everyone in this game is so quick to turn on each other, except when we need them the most.
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, did your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Wait, so this handbook was just lying on the ground out in the open and no one noticed it except for him? And then he noticed it afterwards and grabbed it up? Because by the time we saw him in the entrance to the locker room, that was late in the investigation, which means that earlier in the investigation, everyone walked past it. You found it on the ground then, right? Then it must belong to...
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall.
Hey Valkyria, welcome in. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much for 34 months of support. I appreciate it.
For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break? There's only one possible explanation.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is...
I'm surprised he's about to tell us because this is important information you think he would just withhold from us for the fun of the trial.
When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
And there it is.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Well, you could have said that.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
Should have disposed of it better.
But how'd they
Just saying.
find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke?
I like how Mondo's face is just stuck like that until he talks next.
They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? It had to be the one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was...
Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during their sauna showdown. If I could just prove that, then that will show that the handbook Mondo has must actually be...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
Wait, I lost my opportunity.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto. If what he says, you broke your own hand. In other words, if then that proves...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
You should have broken all 3 of them.
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning. That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Okay, so Chihiro packs the tracksuit. On the way out, runs into Celeste. What pictures do I have? She points out the tracksuit is sticking out, so Chihiro sticks it back in the bag. Chihiro goes to the washroom, or the locker room. Key cards in. Into the boys' room. Meets with Culprit Kun. Culprit Kun is working out pumping iron, and then bam! Uh-oh, there's a dead body. We need to clean this up. Okay, this looks like, okay, this is taking down the poster. Good grief, he's naked! Grabs Chihiro. Oh no, wait, this is the same picture. Wait, this is Chihiro's hand. Wait, did I put the right hand for the tapping in with the card? Both of the pictures look so similar. Yeah, because this one's culprit. Wait, this one's Chihiro hand. Wait, no, I thought I had a picture of Chihiro hand and culprit hand. No, they're the same picture. Okay. It won't be the same picture twice, though. It just seems weird to roll up the poster beforehand. That's what I... Okay, let's just go. Okay, pick it up, tap back in, lays Chihiro down, puts up the poster. Wait, no, I need to do the part where where they turn the doorknob, but the doorknob would be after, right? Okay, well, let's see what pictures we're left with, because there's too many, back-to-back empty ones here. Okay, sets up the crime scene. Okay, so we've already put down the poster at this point. Byakuya comes in, he's like, I'm gonna trick everyone. He puts up the words. Does he do that before or after? I think this makes more sense narratively. Wait, here's the girl's door. He goes into the girl's Wait, no, the girl's door is already open at this point. I guess he turns the doorknob. Would make more sense. Oh no, he needs extension cord. Yeah, because this comes right before this part. Extension cord. What writes the words? Okay. Meanwhile. No, goes into the sauna. That's the sauna, not the locker room. Wait, no, is it the doorknob or is it the sauna? These both kind of make sense here. Like this breaks, right? Like, I think this narratively makes more sense than turning the doorknob. Because this doorknob's a little ambiguous, which one it is. I'm pretty sure this is the sauna one. I mean, I guess it could be... No. Like, I feel like this one could also work here if it's the sauna doorknob, but I think this one narratively makes more sense because it sets the scene. Oh, no, he puts the sauna in and then he closes the door. That's what it is. I think this is a fake clue to show us that to make us think that we're dropping the key card. Oh no, this is dropping Chihiro. Oh no, this is the. Oh no, notices. I get it. Notices the blood on the poster, then takes it down. That's what it is. Goes in, puts up the poster. Okay, this makes more sense. The thing is, like, it's an advantage and a disadvantage that the pictures are slightly ambiguous. But again, it's better than writing sentences, right?
The killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Kiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seemed likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
Oh, you don't want the broken dumbbell there. I think you want the blood splattered portrait here is what you want. So splatter gets splattered onto the portrait. Cleans up here, drops the card. Oh no, picks up a card. Oh no, this picks up... No, it wouldn't make sense for this to be the same picture twice though. Drops the card, picks it up, taps it. Okay.
Here's exactly what happened. And attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
Oh, you really want the same picture twice? I thought they usually don't do that. Oh no, or you wanted the picture of the girls' room. That's what you wanted.
Here's exactly what happened.
I'm glad it just starts from here instead of making me play the whole thing again.
Hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the blood poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no.
Yeah, this asshole had to come along.
Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime.
Yeah, screw the rules, I have money. That's exactly what Byakuya is like.
He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook.
Okay, yeah, you did want the other one.
The killer is you! And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
His face.
Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
He's got a piece of corn on his head.
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence?
I just laid it all out.
You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Let's talk a little bit about fever time and nega time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the R1 button, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can press X triangle, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of time. I probably won't use this mechanic, I already suck at this minigame. I mean, I know it gives me an advantage, but I'm not going to remember this. when I'm doing it. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we also prepared something called Nega Time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates Nega Time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate Fever Time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. I guess I'll just save it for when he does Nega Time then. Nega Time's such a funny word. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use Nega Time. Well then, good luck and have fun.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote!
Tempo
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False!
I can't tell what mine's running out or his is.
I won't listen! False!
Okay, I did it.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Yeah, I had a dance off with him. Dance Tense Revolution.
Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
Oh, I realized something I did wrong. I should have been holding R1 for tempo up. I think I just pressed it thinking it toggled on my ability. That's why it was acting weird, but I still did it. I should have been holding the button.
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Oh, well, I'm surprised I got an A on that last minigame.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that!
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for! Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
You say that like we don't know who we're voting for.
What?
Uh-oh, it looks like the voice acting ran out. This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Iwata.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why'd you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the circle button to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. Weebing, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for following and being a froggy friend. He had chosen that as his way out. Now no one will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro's actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll get better. And with that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured out that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. I feel like this is supposed to say Monokuma. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did. to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think that was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep a secret?
Because
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories or secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible! Nothing could have been that bad! Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone!
You're wrong!
It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever even got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number 1 in the gang, and his number 2, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. Yeah, with the way he's driving there, I don't know, maybe he wasn't long for this world. That's awful. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All they'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. He didn't even wear a helmet. Hey, he had to keep his pristine haircut in check, okay? Which is why... I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Dai had never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's a team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone it was his own weakness that caused the accident. And as a result, the team that was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet... as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it would all have been for nothing. So that's why... That's why... Mondo... After what I saw Monokuma had on me, my head filled with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right. But...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying...
What?
If I really am, then I should be able to tell everyone my secret.
Huh?
Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed? Ruin everything?
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch.
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. And when I woke up again, he was laying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive. So angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was a secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his. And it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it! Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure don't. You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead and say that again, I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. It's what I want to say, but unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. The punishing?
You kid me.
You mean execution?
Well now, well now, well now, well
That's
now.
what I promised you, right? The black and the disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait! Wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
This is all just so sad. Okay, I have to explain this one because it's kind of weird. So, this is based off of a story. So there's a children's story by a Scottish author named Helen Bannerman, published in 1899, called The Story of the Little Black Sambo. And basically in the story, there's a poor Indian boy, and he defeats 4 tigers by tricking them into running around a tree so fast that they eventually turn into butter, and then he and his family use that butter to make pancakes. So the implication here is that Mondo was strapped to the chair, and he was like spinning so fast in that cage that the centripetal force began to like crush him or liquefy him, and then it was like electrocuted at the same time and basically turned him into like liquid, which is messed up, but also kind of on the weird side for an execution and not immediately obvious. But that Mondo butter picture becomes a meme in the Danganronpa fandom alongside the 11037. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. You shut up, Byakuya! Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead, do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that...
However...
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse.
What?
What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene.
But
damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Okay, I have to talk about this, because this is like... I already don't like Byakuya, obviously. And, like, he's being a real dick right now, right? So probably no one likes him right at this point in time. But his plan is just so stupid. And I talked about this last stream about his other, like, thing he did that was really stupid. But his plan here is so incredibly stupid because he's like, oh, well, you know, I led you all on to believe that I was the killer or that, you know, Genocider Jack was the killer. But haha, if you got, you know, we would have gone along with it and it would have been awesome. But, you know, right before the end, I would have revealed that it was Mondo. But then it was like, dude, you're forgetting that it's a vote, right? You could be right and say it's Mondo, but if you fail to convince everyone, right? Because if we're all accusing you and you say, oh, it's him, and you have not sufficient evidence for us, or we just vote based on our feelings, we would have voted you and we all would have died. Like, it's all like, well, I would have just revealed it before it was too late. Wouldn't have happened, especially because he didn't know about the locker room switching part either, right? So it's like, we would have no reason, right? And the only evidence we had that stuck to Mondo was that he blurted out that the tracksuit was blue, which Byakuya would not have been able to get him to do that. And Byakuya didn't know that he also did the sauna thing because he's never with us, and Makoto was the only one witness to that, along with Ishimaru. So it's like, his plan is just so stupid. And I know it's not really a plot hole because I think it's intentional because he's supposed to be arrogant, to be shown that he's arrogant, but also like he's not as smart as he thinks and we were able to outmaneuver him. But it's just like the fact that no one brings this up is just like, it makes me so mad. But thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next. You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair, is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean?
What the heck?
Mean. Good grief, I don't understand why I have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh,
the noble son of a noble family. Surely you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm gonna find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
Just one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Chapter 2, Boy's Life of Despair. Ten students remain. Received the Crazy Diamond present. Great, so we lost Chihiro, we lost Mondo. Now we're stuck with Rich Boy Byakuya, Serial Killer Genocider Jack, and Traitor Kun hidden in our midst. Yay! Good chapter, huh? Good chapter. Oh, hey, Apollo! Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the raid, Apollo Rex. Welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your audience with me. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are all doing well. Please go check out Apollo Rex when you get a chance. Very, very cool, awesome, handsome VTuber. Follow him on all his social medias, Twitter, his Twitch, and join his wonderful community. Welcome in. Hope you guys had a great time playing the 100 line. Welcome in. Apollo, good to see you. And Moonlight, hello, hello. Moonlight, thank you so much for following me and being a froggy friend. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are all doing well today. I'm Kiro. We are playing Danganronpa, and we just finished chapter 2. And we actually just finished up, and I'm just giving my thoughts. But I will be talking, and there's going to be some spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, feel free to cover your ears. But thank you so much for joining us, and go take care of yourself after your stream. I appreciate you being here. So this chapter, I think this was a great chapter. Like, it still has a little bit of the tutorial vibe to it, even though I made a couple of mistakes because I was like, I think I was jumping the gun a little bit more because I know what happens, right? But I think it's still like a good enough one that leaves enough twists, because when you go into the chapter, I think at the beginning you're like, oh, well, they're doing all this genocider Jack stuff, right? And you're like, well, that's pretty obvious. Toko is acting kind of weird, almost like, you know, specifically too weird. You're like, well, that seems obvious, but then it becomes like a red herring. But the red herring comes out really early in the trial, so it's not like you're just kind of waiting there going like, well, you know, when's this going to come? And then, of course, it does the Byakuya thing, and then we get onto the true thing. But in terms of like the motivations and stuff, obviously, it's a really sad situation, right? And like I know they keep throwing around the words like hope and despair, which is like really... the way they throw it around, the words start to like lose meaning after a while. But it's like the whole idea, right, that it's just not about, oh, someone dies, we're sad, we move on. It's the whole like despair, for lack of a better word. Like the whole, Chihiro summoned all of their like strength. They were so worried about being weak. They summoned all their strength into that one moment to be like, I'm gonna start, working out and exercising. I'm going to change. I'm not afraid of letting my secret out. Confides in the one person that he's looking up to, right? That one person, he's like, I could take that first step. This is like a huge leap of courage. And the one person that he decides to go and tell ends up being the one that causes his downfall because of their like, the hidden motivations and the backstories that we don't know about, right? And on the other hand, the whole thing with like Mondo is like the whole, like, Chihiro dies without ever knowing that all along he was strong, right? And that's the sad part, right? The whole like not coming to terms with something and then dying right as you're like right there at the finish line. That's really, really sad, right? And that's what makes it really sad. And then of course the fact that Mondo, right, was obviously remorseful about it because it was like a crime of passion. And then of course we're left with Taka, who's like now beside himself because he just made friends with Mondo. Like it's so many ingredients for like heartbreak. And it's just, and of course you have Monokuma like laughing about it, and on top of Byakuya being a dick. But I think this really puts Monokuma up there with like the antagonists that we saw in Umineko, right? Like it's almost like there are things worse than just dying is what we're seeing, is kind of what I'm getting here, right? It's easy to write a story about someone dying, right? But like to have it dying in like such a sad way, right, is awful. And it really makes, it gives you that juicy drama, right? You want that drama. You want to keep seeing what's going to happen. Of course, they keep leaving us little breadcrumbs about things yet to come. Kamek, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. And that's why, like, I'm like, oh, like replaying this, because again, it's been like over 10 years since I played the first Danganronpa. I still remember what happens, but like coming back and experiencing it again, reading the lines out loud myself, it's like it's a different experience now, and I'm glad that we're doing it because it's also like, a lot of times when you go back to a series, especially if you play the first game, obviously the series gets better as time goes on, right? So I was like, oh, the first cases are going to be, they're not as good as the rest of the series, they're kind of boring, but it's like, no, they still hit pretty good, even if like the actual crime itself wasn't like super complex, but it's just all the emotions that they weave into it, right? Which again is what I find is something that's really lacking in when we played Raincoat and the 100 line, because we didn't really get this type of thing from the characters when we played those games, right? Which is why I was so disappointed with that. So to come back here and be like, yeah, these are the first two cases, and they're already like, both of them ended in such tragedy, but it's like, what's gonna happen next, right? It has a lot of really good stuff. And of course, like this whole like toxic masculinity subject baked into it, right? And of course, throughout the whole game, like this game was written in 2010, right? So throughout the whole game at the beginning, they still make comments here and there about like boys and girls, like some stereotype things. Where it's like, oh, you're not as pretty as you should be because you're a girl, or like, oh, but you're not as strong as you're a man. Like obviously, it lends itself to this whole toxic masculinity thing, which is the core of what happened with Chihiro and Mondo, right? Both of them suffered from toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity affects everyone and sucks for everyone, not just males or not just females. But I would say that was like, part of the message. But then the weird thing is we go and play 100 line, which was written last year, and they're still making boys this, girls that jokes and stereotypes. So I'm not really sure if that's like, I'm just kind of like, okay, so we're perpetuating the stereotypes now, but whatever. Now I will mention this, and I don't want to get into a debate about this specific point here. I want you guys to be aware about this because again, Danganronpa fandom has been around for a while, and of course when you get a fandom like this with a very strong fan base, there's like, discourse and whatnot. So I just want to highlight this part, but I'm not going to like talk about it too much because it's just kind of, I'll leave you with what you want to think, right? But Chihiro has similarities with some other characters we've seen in some other games, and I won't mention them now because in case of spoilers, but I'm sure you could already draw some connections already. But people argue about Chihiro's pronouns all the time, right? Again, this game was written in 2010. This was before a lot of like transgender issues were really at the forefront and people really understood them. So the way Chihiro's identity here, yes, it works with the toxic masculinity thing, but ultimately it's kind of written as a way to just be a plot twist in the murder, right? So people still argue about this all the time, was what do we consider Chihiro trans? And the way it's written, especially if you go into like the extra materials and stuff like that too, it's like so the conclusion that is kind of official is that Chihiro is male and identifies as male, wants to be male, but it's just like cross-dressing to hide the fact that, you know, his like inferiority complex about being weak. So does that make Chihiro trans? So people say, well, no, because like he identifies as male, he's just like, it's like almost like a disguise. And some people are like, oh, but no, because like he's dressing like a girl, and like when he's around everyone else who wants to be called as a girl. That conversation has taken place many times, right? And I think the simple answer really, well, not so simple. One is that this was never really a topic that this game was attempting to address. It was a plot point in the twist of the murder, right? Mainly. And I don't think that's what their agenda was at the time. Of course, Chihiro's a fictional character, right? So you can take the breadcrumbs that you see and come to your own conclusion, or you can go dig into more of the Danganronpa fandom, into, you know, the novels and the manga, the extra stuff. Be my guest, right? But I don't think this was written in mind with that. And even like last year, I think like Kodaka tweets a lot, and he made a tweet somewhere about how he like doesn't see gender whenever he writes a character. He just wants to write them to be interesting and wants people to enjoy the characters for who they are. So he wrote something to that extent, and it saw a few different opinions. And of course it was translated from Japanese to English, so you know the stuff was probably lost along the way there. But what I'm trying to say is people have been talking about this for ages. And I guess the message I want to leave with you is more like, gender is a fluid thing, and people, as they grow up too, will change. They'll try different things and they'll see what works with them. Chihiro is a fictional character, so who can really say? And the devs, they've said their piece. It's not really something I think is worth arguing over, but it is worth thinking about for yourself. Does that kind of make sense? I just think it's silly to have a fandom war over this kind of thing. It's just better to think about, okay, with the information that I have, this is what my conclusion is. I will never know for sure because Chihiro is a fictional character, but also I can see if someone else arrives at a different conclusion than me, and I need to respect that. That's kind of the vision that I have when I approach these kinds of things, instead of having debates over this kinds of stuff. There are more important things to debate about in the real world concerning real people. But it does bring an interesting topic up to hand, and we will talk about this again when we play a certain other game on the channel, which you probably know that what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But anyways, that's just my little soapbox spiel. But thank you so much for joining us for Danganronpa Chapter 2. Tomorrow, we will start Chapter 3, and you just know it's gonna get juicier. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. The Danganronpa VODs should start going up on YouTube pretty soon. I think we're just wrapping up the Final Fantasy IV VODs now, so I'll queue all those other VODs up. They're already in the queue, so they will be coming. But also the VODs are still up on Twitch, so if you want to go back and see anything that you missed, that is still available. That is still available. Okay, that's a lot of talking. My voice is running dry. Let's go drop in on someone else. Let's go say hi to our friend Reisna. She's playing a game called Snow White Ashes. All right, I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye, froggy friends.